Good morning, namaste, and thanks to Dr. Mittal and the two other speakers, Shashank and yourself, Vinish, for your inaugural remarks. And we are beginning the panel already in an agile and completely agile way, where 10 minutes has been taken away from our panel. So hearty welcome to all the distinguished panelists. And this is the session where we talk about how we can expand the boundaries of higher education from a skill and employability point of view. Dr. Shashank gave a lot of statistics. Dr. Mittal spoke about how we can use technology to reach education to the last mile. And Vinish, you gave us a lot of ideas on the environment that we are entering and the children being born today, the environment that they will potentially enter. And that is the context in which we begin this conversation. There is a lot of data on how there is a gap of skills. If you look at the OECD data, if you look at the Coursera World Skills Report, India Skills Report, if you look at the UNESCO data, all of us have seen a lot of that data as educationists. And the message is very clear that A, there is a gap of skills. Very highly skilled workers, there is a gap of about 40 million in the world. Skilled workers, there is a gap of about 45 million. With respect to India, there are a number of specific skills that there is a huge gap on. When we sit on our national councils, whether it's FICCI or ASSOCHAM, Dr. Madhu ma'am and I sit on ASSOCHAM together, our industry partners are always complaining that the students we are graduating are not necessarily 100% ready for the jobs that they get in the industries. So this is the context we are in. And in this panel today, we have a very, very distinguished set of education leaders. And we have a few questions we will deliberate on to look at what we can do as higher education to bridge this skills gap, to make our students more employable. What are the best practices we can learn from each other? And today, really, as a group of education leaders, I think it is our dharma and our responsibility to make sure that we are giving our students what they need to become holistically successful in the world they are entering. So I'll keep these opening remarks brief. And we have a set of questions that we will start the first round with, and time permitting, we will go to the second question. And I request all panelists to also keep the remarks brief so we can have it as a conversation going. Is that all right? Yes, we can. Yeah, we can begin. So I will begin. I'll begin with my newest friend today, Dr. Padmakali. So Dr. Padmakali Banerjee, Vice-Chancellor, President, Padampat, Singhania University. So my first question, Dr. Banerjee, to you is that, from all that we are seeing, you are an industry founded, connected university. You see that the demand for hybrid skills is growing. So how can universities and institutions offer programs that integrate multiple disciplines, for example, which is also mandated now by NEP, to produce graduates with a much broader comprehensive skill set? Your thoughts?
Great. Thank you so much for those lovely remarks. And I'm so delighted to be part of the Business World Summit. It's always a pleasure because I've been also contributing to the magazine. And of course, with the great co-panelist, I think I'm going to go back enriched. So actually, there are no, one size fits all. So primarily, what I really want to stress on that, all my life, prior to joining SPSU, which is a JK Cement-led university in Udaipur a year back, I've been working very closely on skill development while I was leading other universities. So what I realized that, now what the entire game plan is changing. We have been talking about and what helped us. Actually, the NEP has facilitated all of this. So through that, what is happening is today, students not only are doing multiple skilling programs or earning micro credentials, but I think the global certifications that a student they can earn from the early years. So I'm talking about a seamless integration from K-12 to higher education. So when they come in, the students already form a voice of what their life is going to unfold. And then they are picking on areas. Just to give you an example, that if I'm talking about, teaching, say, business analytics in the university, then contributing and collaborating with a partner like SAS and giving the kind of global certification on data visualization is an enabler. So what is happening is when the companies, not just the companies who are coming to recruit, even for the new ideas of entrepreneurship or startup, the way industries are growing, it is very important. Similarly, coming from, say, a JK Cement industry, so there are a lot of work we are working closely with, say, FL Smith, JK Cement. So the cement technology is being integrated into the core programs. So by the time the students are actually exiting the university either for higher education or to enter the industry, they're well prepared, well grounded. To do all that, I think there's an entirely tech-enabled environment, which I think we all believe in. So not only are you going to create smart classroom, but a real-time learning. So I think the entire conversation in the morning, which talked about the hybrid learning, getting people into the classroom. I do believe in the contact. The kind of session today we are having, when we are meeting people, it makes a lot of difference. So the industry from worldwide, coming to the students, to the campus, creating cohorts of mentor-mentee system. So that is how I think we are going to look at. And if you look at the large numbers of skill gap, it is immense. But believing in not just the SQ or EQ, I believe in OQ, which is optimistic quotient. In fact, one of my book talks about it, the power of positivity, optimism, and the seventh sense. So how do we equip students with the seventh sense and optimistic intelligence so that they are able to become the best learners, they create their own path for the future of India and our nation and the worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Banerjee. So great ideas, mentor-mentee, industry-specific training, and a new concept of OQ that you have introduced today. With that, Dr. Biswas, I turn to you. You are the director and CEO of the Techno India University and the Techno India Group from Calcutta. Dr. Banerjee spoke about industry-specific training. I want to come to the big elephant in the room always, is the new technologies, emerging technologies, AI, ML, etc. So what is your view on how can emerging technologies like AI, data analytics, ML, etc. be leveraged to personalize education, to upskill, to provide students with learning pathways that are customized, tailored to them, so they become more employable?
Good morning to you all. Good morning, ma'am. Thanks for the question. First of all, thanks to Business World for calling me. I come all the way from Calcutta, almost without a sleep last night. We are very proud Indians right at this point of time. With Chandrayaan 3 happening, we are the first country, as the Niti Aayog person said, to land on the south pole of the moon. And that too through Indian education system. Goldman Sachs predicts that by 2075, India will be the best performing country in the world. Mr. Jaishankar was asked in the United States that in which axis India falls, in the axis of the United States or axis of China. And he answered that we make 1/5 of the world population and we are an axis by ourselves. I represent Techno India Group and the Techno India University, one of the biggest education providers of the country of India, with more than 120 campuses, 120 plus campuses, 1 lakh students and 5 lakh alumni. And as ma'am said of artificial intelligence, machine language, everything, but I want to wrap up within 2 minutes what I have to say. And I quoted that education has been the bulwark of the development progress of human civilization anywhere in the world. India and its ancient education system have provided roadmaps of sustainable human life and a sustainable, healthy planet art for thousands of years. The basis of education is and always has been the development of the individual, the physical, the intellectual, the emotional, and the spiritual being of the individual need to be nurtured, to be worked on through the process of education. This process is not piecemeal. It starts right at the school level and continues through the years of higher education, where components of domain knowledge are conjured with the constant skill development, creativity, innovation, entrepreneurship, and the capacity to toil, to take challenges, stay calm, and resolve problems satisfactorily. As already said, these aspects require a multifaceted structure of education to create and incubate multifaceted individual who can, 1, locate a problem or need in the environment and within communities, analyze the problem and need, and divide it into logical parts, take up each part in a systematic manner and plan solutions and actions, delegate responsibility to teams and individuals after working out the sorts or strength with the opportunity threats. Synthesize new and innovative strategies taking into account available resources, information and designs. Every educational system, whether it is academic-oriented courses or professional courses, need to curate curriculum according to the aforementioned states. Moreover, elements of development of good habits of physical health need to be inculcated, and special emphasis needs to be given on stress management and development of spirit that is calm but also courageous, adjusting but also assertive. If we have to expand boundaries of higher education, particularly in terms of skill and employability, we have to focus on the power of doing and going out into the world, into the industry and the corporate arena to look at the future of a bird's eye without flinching, without ready-made solutions. There, they can be nurtured to take up challenges, projects taking into account present-day scenarios, socio-economic, socio-political, and socio-cultural. Each of these angles provides skilling up and concomitant job opportunities as well as capacity for thinking ahead and creating job. Entrepreneurship is an important aspect of training in today's day and age, where startup giants are created by finding simple solutions to complex problems. By training them in design, thinking, and business development programs, we can arouse their interest in creating business with local knowledge, resource, and expertise. There is a need to localize curriculum, to utilize the immense knowledge in our workers, artisans, farmers, horticulturalists, etc., to make education more inclusive and more employment friendly. Our country has greatly suffered due to the white-collar tags to jobs and skills, which are now essentially being rendered obsolete by the technological disruption, what ma'am was saying. What cannot be taken over by this artificial and machine language is the people connect, the human touch and understanding, the capacity to communicate and reach out to other human beings, see what they can require and provide them a reasonable service. Education needs to focus on creating knowledge and being more knowledgeable and compassionate, empathetic individuals who are not prejudiced or rigid in their outlook towards life, towards their respective fields. I conclude by saying what Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee used to say in many of his states, and I quote him, as we say that we are going to make some difference, we are going to make a difference to ourselves. He said, and I quote, मुट्ठी में कुछ सपने लेकर भरकर जीव में आशाएं, दिल में है तमन्ना मेरी कुछ कर जाए, सूरज सा तेज नहीं मुझ में, सूरज सा तेज नहीं मुझ में, दीपक सा जलता देखोगे, अपने हद रोशन करने से तुम कब तक मुझको रोकोगे, तुम कब तक मुझको रोकोगे, तुम कब तक मुझको रोकोगे. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Biswas. So a lot of ideas from your side, and I think one of the quintessence that I got out was that skills of human-to-human connection, empathy, personal skills as such, which was alluded even before, that the emotional quotient, the spiritual quotient is something that yet cannot be taken away by automation. And to that, Dr. Chitkara, Madhu ma'am, I come to you. Madhu ma'am is the Pro-Chancellor of Chitkara University, Punjab. So, ma'am, technical skills are important. We are talking about them. We are educating. You have thousands of students in your own university studying engineering and computer science and such skills. But what is your view on how we can develop the soft skills, emotional intelligence in our students? How are you doing it, and what ideas you have for all of us on that? Because that is something which again and again we are hearing, seeing, and it's our experience, is something which is going to be vital.
Thank you, Rajita, for asking this question, because it's very near to my heart. You all have seen that during pandemic what happened. We were able to deliver the lectures. The IQ was delivered through using the technology. In the first session, everybody was talking about the technology, that we were able to reach to the last student. And I think that for that we all should pat ourselves, that we were the winners all the way. And in the whole world, I think India was the country with the 140 crores of the population. We were able to deliver the goods. But that was about the IQ. And for the last so many years, India is known for delivering the intelligent quotient, that how we are doing it, and our systems are very good. After NEP, because during pandemic only we got the national education policy, and there they were saying that everything is to be evaluated, whether it is formative evaluation or whether it is summative. So it is every aspect of the personality of a child is to be evaluated, and that is very difficult because we don't know that how to evaluate that. First of all, how to develop those. I think one of the speakers was saying that we are developing the EQ, we are doing something in SQ, and during pandemic we have seen that if EQ was little bit was handled by the parents, but what about SQ? Now, when the students are back in the campus, we have seen that they are not very socially connected to each other. I think I have noticed in my campus that students have started losing interest in interacting with each other. They are not laughing. They are not doing any truant activities. And I used to snub them that why you are doing this. Now I have made up my mind that I will not say anything to them because that was a life in the campus. So those were the skills which are to be evaluated, how we are evaluating and how we are developing. I will give you some example which we are doing in Chitkara University. While seeing the pandemic effect on their personalities, we developed one center of happiness. And we have a full-fledged officer of happiness. What we do is that there are some sessions, and those sessions are happening the whole day. And normally what we do in all the campuses, we have the counselors with us, and those counseling sessions are giving them that is there is any problem with the emotions or there any problem with the adjustment. They come to the counselor and they do some counselings, and in that way that soft skill is developed. So we have done this where they can talk about the well-being, their well-being. Second activity, there are, I think all of us have adopted the villages around us, and this is a mandate through NEP also, and this was a mandate for the last so many years, that this becomes our social responsibility, it becomes a corporate social responsibility to talk to the villagers, those who are those who need our help because we are in the education. So when they are going to the NSS activities, when they are going for the NCC activities, there they are talking to the villagers. So in that way, that social skill, so how to talk to them, how to convince them, that is developed. So these type of activities, if we all start doing it. Now, third example I will give you that normally every university is doing the co-curricular activities. I never say that it is extracurricular activities. These are the co-curricular. You are going for the, for example, in our campus, we do rung race every year. We do tech talk sessions. We do because of the G20 event, I think every university has taken one activity, whether it is B20 or S20. So we were partnered to the B20, S20 and W20. So when those activities were happening, the students who were part of it, they were talking to the people from all across other universities. So in that way, those soft skills. So very difficult to develop the soft skills, and it is very, very easy to develop the hard skills. So now it becomes our responsibility that how we are doing it. Now I will give you one example that where they can develop their entrepreneurship. And those skills, how that is very important, because I think one of the speakers were saying that they will ask for the jobs, and when I think the Niti Aayog guy was talking about that 2 crores of the students will be more than passing out from the universities. And when they will be passing out, they need the jobs. So it is not possible to give the jobs to everybody. So they have to create the jobs. So they should be the job creators. So for that, we do the Apni Mandi. We do the Chitkara Mandis. For that, we take the space. And since the adopted villages are there, they buy the products from them and they sell it in the market. And the product becomes B2C directly. So no mediator. And in that way, our students try to develop those social skills. So I think these are the methods where we can do something to develop the soft skills.
Very nice, Dr. Chitkara. These are very practical, very practical sharing from your side. Very important that all of us can learn from each other so that we can.
Example, which I think you are part of it, and thank you to you that they are having the art of living sessions. So this is so well taken by our students, and the evening we have students in the hostels, and they are regularly taking those sessions where those soft skills and the emotional skills are developed. So I
Yes.
think those activities can be part of it, where they can be. They can
Absolutely,
improve.
absolutely. That was one thing I think I will share also from my side in Srishu University. I think that is an important ecosystem we have created where we help students learn meditation, Sudarshan Kriya, yoga. And like you rightly said, the pandemic has played really havoc with the mental well being of especially the younger generation. So, empowering them with the skills to develop resilience, grit, inner stability, I think is very important for us, and we are doing it. And I would recommend every education leader to embrace some such mechanisms because that is important for our students. So, Dr. Chitkara, thank you so much. And with that, I will come Abhishek to you. Abhishek Pandit is the Pro-Chancellor of Scope Global Skill University, Bhopal. Abhishek, can you talk to us a little bit about, there is so much discussion about the apprenticeship program that is going on today. How does it fit in the higher education system? And yours is a skill university. Talk to us about what are your focus areas and what ideas from you we can all take to really again bridge this skill gap.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Business World, as well, for this opportunity. Now, most of us have been coming for such conferences for years right now, and pretty much in every conference we talk about industry not getting the resources, students who fit their industry, right? And we most of the time blame the industry, or many times we blame the government, the policies, etc. And it's been going on for years, and I don't think that's going to end. It's going to continue for years in the future as well. But having said that, we all know that if we need to make a change, then we need to start making that change. And frankly speaking, the government has done quite a bit. The national education policy, we are all aware, is radical in that sense. We also have acts, for example, the Apprenticeship Act, ma'am just spoke about, which is quite radical now. Putting all these pieces together, there is a good framework that can be taken to market where industry can benefit, students can benefit, and the universities can also benefit. Just to give an example, what we've done is that we've brought in industry center of excellences within our university. For example, Daikin has set up a center of excellence, Hero has set up a center of excellence, Maruti has set up a center of excellence. Essentially, it's the industry which has come into the university. A small miniature industry is in the university. The students actually go through real life situation of how it will be in the actual work environment within the university. And during the course itself, we send the students to the industry to do an apprenticeship program. It is a year or a year and a half apprenticeship program where the student is actually in the industry, working in the industry and learning as he is working, because he's got the theoretical skills, he's done the center of excellence in the university. And when he is going to the industry there, the industry teaches him real life skills, right? How to talk to your peers, pressure from your boss, etc., etc. So all of that comes into the real life learning of the student. And we all know industry is selfish. Industry doesn't do it for free. Not many industries like JK Cement actually set up their own university or colleges. So industry wants to benefit from this, and the way they benefit is that because these students go there, they get a stipend and they make these kids work, right? So they benefit. Students benefit by getting real life work experience, and they come back to the university enriched with a lot of knowledge, with a lot of skill. And we believe that the best skill is obtained in the industry, and working with the industry is the absolute skills as far as the place where you can get the best skills possible. So the apprenticeship program, just a quick view on that. I'm not sure how many of you are aware here, but when the student goes to the industry, the government actually pays part of the stipend. I mean, I don't know if you're aware, but the government pays part of the stipend. So industry benefits there as well. Students get their stipend, and it's a win-win situation for everyone. Take an example of this candidate who is 12th pass, who is forced to get into the labor market because he has no money to get into the higher education ecosystem. Or there's a social pressure for him to start working. Now, these are the kids who fall in perfectly into this ecosystem because pretty much their entire education is taken care by the stipend that the industry gives. So these are changes that are happening in the higher education ecosystem. The NEP, the Apprenticeship Act of 1961, all of these play a good part, and I think it's a bright future ahead with the industry.
Thank you, Abhishek. Before we move on to Dr. Mishra, it is my humble request if those of us who are having private conversations can take them outside the room. It gives respect to the panel here. So it is my humble request that we can either take it outside the room or please be with the panel. So coming to you, Dr. Pankaj Kumar Mishra, you are the Pro Vice-Chancellor of Glocal University. In your university, what are some of the skills you are emphasizing on to make them future ready? And what, in your opinion, are skills you see will be relevant 10 years from now? I mean, talk to us about your focus areas and what you are doing.
Thank you, ma'am. I start this with the note that, very famous note, known by everybody, that we are preparing the students for the job that yet not exist.
Yeah.
To use that technology which is yet to be invented, and we are making them ready to be a problem solver, which the problem which is yet not defined. That means we are still living with a world of uncertainty. The complete rat race in the market was the computer science. Engineering completely shipped to the BTech computer science only. We were preparing the coders. Now, few months ago, the ChatGPT come and it is coding very well. Even the coders are also using it. Then many students were deviating from the focus of engineering, and they have chosen the humanities as their career path. And then content designer post is also taken by ChatGPT. So many things are going on, and technological revolution and disruption is the main key area and main concern with the higher education institution, where we all need to have a sincere and serious thinking that where we have to go. The main challenge is what this that is the employable skill, or the employer's demand, and our processed graduates, what the skill they are having. So big skill gaps are there. So in our university, and we are also following the many other good universities, what they are doing, just despite of just delivering the syllabus or making a timetable for a particular curriculum is not enough. We should have a dedicated one slot every week, or maybe twice in a week, not only for the value-added education and all, but for the transferable skills. The transferable skills is very much important, which will be, help the students to cope up the future challenges. They should be not only the technological smart, but they should always be, professional and personal ethics. And I really congratulate the efforts of UGC Chairman Professor M. Jagdish Kumar. He has launched the life skills courses. The Mumble Prevah version 2.0 has been released. So many of these kind of activities are very important. So as we are focusing for the core study of the curriculum, we need to more focus on the transferable skills as well. So that is required. But at the same time, our faculty members also need to have a sincere training on it. If you are saying that only one professional trainers or will be sufficient, so it's not like that. I personally believe that all the faculty members should be able to to understand what is the transferable skill and how they are able to take the students. Because at the end of the day, when I'm rolling out the mentor-mentee system, every mentor should be able to understand what is the transferable skill and how to deal with this. So this is a kind of thought I have, and I really thank you for BW Education and moderator ma'am for taking this question to me. Thank you, ma'am.
So, Dr. Mishra, keep the mic
Right.
with you,
Right.
Because the timer is showing that we have only about 10 minutes left.
Right.
And this is not something we prepared, but we have very erudite scholars here, so I'm putting you a bit on spot. Dr. Mishra, my one-line answer I want from you. What do you think is the one thing we are doing very well in higher education today to ensure that our students have the right skills to become employable, industry ready for Industry 5.0? In one line, what do you think we are doing right?
The good thing is what we have just rolled out to use the new education policies and the use of technology. That is a very important one-line question answer from my side, that
Okay.
the rolling of NEP and the technology.
Technology. Okay. Could you give it to Dr. Sujoy? Dr. Sujoy, what is the one thing you think we are doing right?
We are doing right, and we should keep on doing that. First, as he said, the new education policy.
Right.
4 points of that. This promote continuous learning to bridge the skill gap. The second is provide customized learning. Everyone is not good in everything. So we are providing with the NEP, you know, that you can have the credit banks and you can go back and come
So
back.
I'm going to take the moderator cap and pause you here. So customized learning and
Promote continuous
Continuous
learning,
learning.
to bridge the skill gap, provide customized learning,
yes,
give
pause,
control.
Pause. So these two things we are doing right.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Great. Okay, I'm going to
Third,
ask
third.
now.
I mean, the 2 points left.
No, I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Madhu ma'am, I want you to say now what is the one thing we are not doing right?
I think what we are not doing right, when he was saying that the students should be sent to the industry and they should get, when they are going there or the professors are going there to the industry, they learn more. When they are in the teaching systems, they don't learn more. So, but what we are not doing it, I think now it is a time to take the industry into the campus.
Okay.
So
all right.
industry should come to the academia. Normally what we were doing, that academia and industry interface, we always required that. So industry was not listening to us. So what now we have started in our university after the pandemic, the one-liner, that we have requested the industry
To come.
to send their trainers to the university, and when we are going for the board of studies meeting, they are part and parcel of that to develop the curriculum with the academy.
Okay. So what we are not doing enough is not having enough industry on our campus. Okay. Dr. Banerjee, what is the one thing we are not doing enough?
All right. Thank you for that. And it doesn't have a straight answer, but I'll try to give you a thought. Is that we are not yet enough connecting with each universities together. We talk about Ivy League. We talk about Ivy League. I think time has come, and I think the online Zoom and everything has helped us to come together. Even yesterday we had a general body meeting with AIU. Everybody, all vice-chancellors could come and spend time together. So I think it's time that India universities forget just rankings and get involved in creating a league and making an impact together. Getting into the best practices,
Okay.
that's the thing.
Great. And Abhishek, different question for you. What is the one thing you think we can learn from universities around the world to help us on bridging this skill gap? One thing.
Right. So I think one thing that we have noticed is research. Right. World over, there's a lot of focus on research, because if you are looking at research and if you are focusing on research, there are certain skills that you would anyway gain while getting through that research program. I think there's a lot of focus as universities in India we need to do on research and get real research which is actually giving outcome to the society, not
Right.
just on the books, but giving real outcome to the society, which we're not doing today.
Okay.
Rajita, can I add to his point?
Okay.
What we are not doing is in
Abhishek, keep the mic. I have something.
in reference to the international universities, what they are doing. You said that the research. I think they are doing the best thing. They have involved from day one in the universities the alumni. So they are coming back because they know the society better than us,
Okay.
because we are
Alumni.
into the education system. So they are making part and parcel of their system, the
Okay.
alumni. So I think we should.
Alumni, great. Abhishek, starting from you now, if there was one skill you think we should really focus on, our students should be taught, they should have, what is that one skill you will choose?
That will be learning to learn.
Learning to learn. Dr. Banerjee?
Yeah, I think adopting behavioral competency.
Learning
Because
to
in
learn,
this-
behavioral
yeah.
competencies. Okay, Madhu ma'am?
So I think very difficult question, because we have already discussed. One thing which they are not able to do is the collaboration, because now the
Collaboration.
life is collaborate.
Okay,
They don't do it, so their team teaching has to be
Collaboration. Dr. Sujoy?
Do you remember one line for the students, the universities, the management, everything? The लहरों से रहकर नौका पार नहीं होती, लेकिन कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं. So we keep on trying in bettering all the things. We are doing all the things good, but we should keep on bettering so that we can match the Goldman Sachs prediction that by 2075 we will have most
So
happy.
to match that, what is the one skill you think they should learn?
They should be passionate, dedicated, keep on working in every sphere, every vertical, and we are going to reach the top.
Okay, passion. Dr. Mishra?
I personally believe, ma'am, that is the transferable skill, as I told, but transferable skills is again a bunch of many skills. So, personally believe that technological skills is more important to survive in the
Technological
world.
skills.
Right.
Okay, wonderful. So I think we got a fantastic range of ideas from what we are doing in our individual campuses, what we are doing well, what we can learn from each other, what we can do better. I think very, very great insights from everybody. We have about 3-4 minutes left. I have a list of questions, but if the audience wants to interact and maybe, yes, please introduce yourself, name and your institution, and go ahead. You can just ask. It's a small hall.
I'm Karan Rao. I actually come from the industry, so I have an air pollution control startup. Just this summer, I hired about 10 interns from IIT Delhi, IIT Guwahati, and NIT. And one of the reasons why I hired them is the experience with other universities was pretty bad. Like there was a lot of no-shows. So that was one of my concerns. And so professionalism was a little missing. IITs enforced this, where they don't get their grades when students don't show up. One of the other things that I think is really missing is a multidisciplinary approach. I studied abroad. So there I had friends who took up physics and art. I personally took up mechanical engineering and electrical engineering in parallel. So like that was specifically missing. So what I need as industry, as a startup, I need coders who know a little bit of psychology. I know mechanical engineers who know a little bit of coding, because robotics, we talked about Chandrayaan, but robotics is all about a mixture of all those three elements. So the multidisciplinary approach is what is absolutely missing in India. And not just in other universities, I'm not also talking about the IITs and whatnot. All of them are missing it. So students are just siloed into their own department and they do not venture out.
Okay.
So that's something I'm
Yeah.
curious
So
how
actually
exactly.
that
But I
is
think NEP is
changing.
taking care of
Yeah,
that.
that
NEP is
is
taking
changing.
care of that you can have a mixture of psychology, engineering, coding.
I think I understand is, what
Yeah,
he's
let me just
feeling
come to
as a
my question.
startup. No, I think before you come to and give us those things and ask that final question, I think one thing which is called in startup is a team. You can't look at a person who's multitasking and becoming, a computer wizard and a psychologist. So I think when you pick up people, so you need to actually get into different people also in the different roles. So that's one thing which is very clearly there, because I've helped a lot of entrepreneurs and startup. So problem with startup is, one is you're only going to IITs, right? The point is, of course, maybe that's easy way for you to reach out, and through a professor you get connected. But if you really want to get the best ideas coming, go to every part of India. Believe me, before I went to Rajasthan, leaving NCR, leaving the comfort zone, I did not know the kind of skills which are already there.
So you come to Punjab, you will get so many Jugaad technologies there, which you are not able to get in IITs and NITs. So please come to our universities, which are in rural areas. You will get the people who will get you. So best startups. We have at present 188 startups sitting in our campuses, and they are working day and night and giving the solutions to all the agricultural people, because that is the future.
So we have answered your question before you have asked, and we have anticipated that you might be asking us this, but your point is well taken. In the interest of time, I'm going to administer my right here and say that your point is well taken. Dr. Banerjee's point is also important, because in this mad effort to make everybody the experts of everything, we should not forget the importance of deep learning. Both are important. And in India, specifically right now, because of the NEP, in fact, IITs are teaching humanities, and humanities organizations are teaching, institutions are teaching technical skills. So it's happening. It's the beginning. And I would second Madhu ma'am when I say to you that get out of the known institutions. I mean, all of us are in India proud of each other, but reach out to regional institutions, reach out to states which may not otherwise be. I would say also come to Odisha. You know, it's a thriving incubation ecosystem there. So all of us, there is great work happening. So come to everyone. Okay?
And Niti Aayog person is there. We have the Niti Aayog Atal Innovation Mission. They are funding a lot. We are one of the shortlisted universities who have been shortlisted, and we are in the process of getting selected. And they're ramping up innovations and with all this kind of mixes like anything. And thanks to Niti Aayog, sir, that you are helping us and supporting us to take India a leap forward from where we are right at this point.
So the counter is saying that time's up, but I will ask you if we can take one or two more questions. Yeah. Yes, sir, in the blue checked shirt, please. Yes. If you can introduce yourself and yeah. Yes.
University, and I'm from Department of Operational Research. This is rightly said. The private universities, they can connect with the industry. But University of Delhi finds it very difficult connecting with the industry. They say, we are also doing research. We are getting published papers very lively with the sustainability. But no industry wants to share the data. Because that's the biggest problem we are facing. Because he has rightly said, he has gone to the IITs. But the man said, come to Punjab. Come to Odisha. But the only thing is we, as a teacher, when we approach, even in the monopolistic market, we have a model with us, but no industry wants to share the data. We want to implement for the betterment of the society because we are suffering. We are not able to connect with the industry. Industry is not willing to help us.
So we are happy to collaborate with you and take you to the industry. We are very happy to collaborate. Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to do something good research and you want to implement, now, after a decade, I have been serving, I think, 36 years in the university. Now the university is likely to give some incentive of your good research.
Right, right.
Otherwise, they were nothing for the faculty.
Thank you.
The students, those who are doing research, with our field is operational research.
Yes.
Very much practical with the industry.
No, thank you. Thank you. I think that was a comment you wanted to make, so that's great. And that's a request to Business World. You are indeed a business platform. So in the next Education Summit, we request you that you bring equal partnership of business participation so that it can be a more cohesive sort of platform to discuss these kind of issues.
I stand
as
with you
well.
on this. Where's the team? Please take note of this.
Yeah, so that was one input. So thank you for all the great insights from the panel, and thank you to Business World for curating this, and I would personally like to thank you for giving me this chance to be a moderator for such great scholars, and thanks to the entire panel. Thanks a lot.
And thanks to,
And also thanks
to
to
our
Anand. Thank you. It was an
moderator.
For
excellent
moderating
session.
that. Everybody once for all of them.